Hey guys, so in this video we're going to be learning about the respiratory system. Respiration is the process of taking in oxygen when you inhale and removing carbon dioxide as you exhale. The main organ involved in the respiratory system is the lung. So before we begin, there's a simple concept called diffusion, which is important to gas exchange. Diffusion is basically the movement of molecules from areas of high concentrations to areas of low concentrations. So if you look at the diagram below, you can see that on the left, the molecules are highly concentrated on the left of the red line, and as time goes on, they'll naturally move and even out to be equally concentrated on both sides. So oxygen enters the body either through the nasal cavity, which is your nose, or the mouth. As air passes through your nose, the cilia, which are hair-like projections, filters out dust particles that are in the air, and the oxygen then passes through the pharynx, which is your throat, and the larynx, which is your voice box that rests above your trachea. And after passing through the pharynx and larynx, the air moves to the trachea, which is your windpipe. And if you look at the diagram on the right, you can see that there's something called an epiglottis, which is a flap of tissue that rests on top of your trachea. The epiglottis basically prevents food from getting into your windpipe and opens as you inhale and exhale. As the air moves through your trachea, the trachea then branches off into two bronchi, one in each lung. The bronchi then branch off even more into primary, secondary, and tertiary bronchi, and eventually reach bronchioles, where gas exchange occurs. So if you look to the diagram on the top left, you can see that at the end of the bronchioles, there are sacs of alveoli where the gas exchange occurs. The alveoli are wrapped in capillaries which blood flows in. And if you take a look at the diagram on the right, you can see that oxygen diffuses from the alveolar sacs into the capillaries where the red blood cells receive oxygen. And once the red blood cells receive oxygen, they circulate throughout the rest of the body to provide oxygen to other parts of your body. So, and while oxygen is diffusing into the bloodstream, at the same time, carbon dioxide also diffuses from the red blood cells to the alveoli sacs and back to the lungs to be exhaled. So next we have the diaphragm, which is a layer of muscles that contract and relax as you inhale and exhale. So as you inhale, the diaphragm contracts and your lungs fill up with air as you exhale, the diaphragm relaxes and the volume in your lungs decrease as air rushes out. So here you can see a model of the diaphragm contracting and relaxing. As you inhale, the diaphragm contracts and pulls downwards, and as you exhale, the diaphragm relaxes. So when you inhale, the volume in your lungs increase as your diaphragm pulls downwards, and this causes air from outside to rush in. And as you exhale, the diaphragm relaxes, the volume in your lungs decrease, and air rushes out from your lungs into the environment. So what's the significance of the respiration process? It brings oxygen to other cells in the body so you can perform basic functions such as movement and thinking. And it evolved long ago from organisms that were breathing water. So from organisms that were using gills, they evolved to organisms that started breathing on land and using lungs. And also it works together closely with the circulatory system. So while the respiratory system brings oxygen into the body, the circulatory system distributes it throughout to the other cells and other parts of your body. Thank you guys for watching. If you would like more practice, there's homework and answer keys in the description below.